Hey everybody, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you're new here. Doing the Heal Yourself reading cards this week. Got on a kick with them and getting some good messages from them, so we're going to stick with that for a few. And because these cards, look, see how big these cards are and how big my hands are? And I'm just kind of like half-ass shuffling. Just grab one. See what we got for today. Help from above. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know about everyone's belief systems. You know, anyone who might watch this, what your belief system is, what you believe in, and I refer to it as universe, spirit, higher power, God, whatever you want to call it, George, to each their own, right? However, at the end of the day, no matter what we call a higher power, it's our help from above. Believing in something outside of yourself is, has, at least for me, throughout my life, been a very grounding principle. Now, as I've developed new beliefs and uh, looked at some of the structures that I was previously involved in, I've moved away from my original higher power. However, I do know that there is something larger than I, something greater than I, whether it's your higher self or higher intelligence, you know, again, it doesn't matter what you believe or what you call it, as long as you believe that there is a greater source than you. And I don't say that out of like, I know one of the things that kind of bothered me about Christianity was that there was no self-power, if that makes sense. Everything we had came through God. And that to me doesn't make sense. Because we do have our own internal power and ability and things of that nature, right? Like, I don't have to go outside of me for anything. However, I have discovered that I can get very good outcomes from connecting with a higher power. And I can't explain that higher power. I really can't. I do know that in the worst times of my life, when I have reached out and just, like, help me, all of a sudden, I get ideas, I get insights, things start to connect, things start to come together. And this is not of my doing. You know, it's not something that I had a hand in. It was just me calling out to this higher power, like, I've really fucked up. When you find yourself in those situations where you're like, what do I do now? And you don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, things start popping up. Synchronicities, signs, opportunities, people, uh, a, a line from a book, a line from a movie, and all of a sudden you have this epiphany like, oh, this is what I need to do, or that's the opportunity I need to take. And so having that belief in a higher power, regardless of what you call it, like you could call it George, it doesn't matter, it's there. It's there, whatever it may be. And I don't claim to have the knowledge of what it is. I just know that I am thoroughly grateful for whatever it is. And I think the older I have gotten, the more I've realized how ignorant I am about what really is out there and around us, and what energies are at play in the world, and how things are operating. And, you know, I think from that place of ignorance, I have absolutely learned way more and opened my mind to so many possibilities that I didn't have when I thought I knew everything. And I came to that conclusion early on that I didn't know near as much as I thought I knew. And when we open our minds to the possibility, if you don't believe in a higher power, open your mind to the possibility. What if there is? What if there is something out there that's highly intelligent that can help us do smarter things in life? Because it wasn't until I had changed my belief systems and kind of tried some new spiritual practices and even meditation, getting in touch with our higher self and getting past so much of the limiting stuff, the programming, the doctrine, the things that we have believed for so many years. Because what happens when we have these deep-seated beliefs is we look for things that verify that our beliefs are right. And so we will spend our time around people who believe the same thing, places that reflect the same beliefs. We isolate ourselves into little bubbles so that nothing proves us wrong. But what if we are wrong? Because I'm pretty sure at this point, I was wrong. But everyone around me believed the same way. So I felt like I was right. I was right. They were wrong over there in their bubble, and they were bad, and I couldn't talk to them because then it would challenge my belief that was wrong. And it wasn't until I started to really seek out other beliefs. And I researched different religions, different cultures. I've traveled quite a bit just to experience other people's perspectives and opened my circle to new experiences, and no, I don't believe the same thing as everyone else. But through that process, I was able to get out of my bubble and start to learn new things and see new perspectives and realize that, wow, just because there were this many people over here that thought this thing, this makes sense to me too, and so does this and this, and now I've kind of made my own little whatever, there's no real category, but it's me. It's just me believing the things that make sense to me. And when we can do that, we can connect to what is truly a higher power for us, and also the power that we hold within us as spiritual, physical beings. And I know I've been all over the place with this. That's why I think it's fun to draw the cards, because sometimes the card isn't even the real topic. And we've talked about tribe and boundaries, self-love so far this week. And so, expanding your tribe and meeting new people, gaining new perspectives. Even I'm kind of a hermit. I'm not the most social being on earth. So for me, a lot of it is just watching documentaries, reading books, traveling. Love to travel, because there's nothing like experiencing something in person firsthand to really understand the vibe of a culture. I've mentioned before, I love the Native American culture and had the honor of being a part of that to an extent through my employees when I used to live in Arizona. Love you guys. If any of you are watching this, miss you. They were amazing people, and they're the way that they viewed the earth and their family and their tribe. We could all learn from that, because our standard American culture isn't that way. And to me, it seems like, I didn't realize just how shallow what I'd grown up with was until I started expanding my mind and seeking what I felt like was a higher power, one that resonated with me. And so I hope that, if nothing else, just the idea of expanding your mind, expanding your horizons, and opening to new possibilities will get you in touch with that higher part of you, the higher power that's out there. Um, it can be an amazing adventure when you really start to learn who you are and realize that you don't have to figure everything out yourself. And there are generations of knowledge, untapped, that are somewhere out there in the ethers. And when you ask, you'll get that knowledge, what you need for your situation. Try it. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it. Dare you. So, anyway, uh, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.